Hey guys, welcome back to Average Joe Day Trader. If you didn't see the introduction video that we created, please go ahead and watch the video. It's a bit lengthy, but it has a great explanation of what we're doing here and what this channel is all about. Today, in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what is happening in the market, what did we see happen in the market when we opened this morning, and the best top stocks to day trade, whether it's tomorrow, later in the week, or next week. In my opinion, these are some of the best stocks that we have out there to day trade. And I'm going to show you some of the results of my day trading those stocks. But first, I wanted to share with you guys, there's a ton of volatility happening in the market. And we're literally waiting for this April 2nd deadline for the tariffs to kind of see what's going to happen with the tariffs that are being put out there. And we hear a lot of different things. They're pulling them back. They're going to enforce them. They're only going to do some. They're going to be, slight. They're going to be severe. We really don't know what's happening right now with the tariffs. But I can tell you what I do know is that this morning, when I got up and started reviewing pre-market, the market was happy today. Wow, was the market happy today, guys. And that's a day you want to see. A lot of green and a lot of really good pumps of stocks moving in the right direction. And I know a lot of the guys that I'm in Discord with were making great money today. So we're going to look a little bit at the stocks, and I'm going to share with you at least three that are on my radar that I am day trading, and we'll talk a little bit about each one of those. But first, I wanted to share with you that there was a recent article that went out this morning, and it's the Business Insider. And I follow several different news channels. Primarily, I go to Yahoo Finance and I kind of see what's going on there. But in the Business Insider, they were talking about the Magnificent Seven. And, these are stocks that have been really challenged over the last many weeks. And if you don't know who the Magnificent Seven are, basically it's Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Apple, Google, which is Alphabet, Amazon, and Tesla. And man, Tesla was on fire today. And thank goodness, because I've got a bunch of shares holding position in Tesla. And I got in not too high, but higher than where they're at. And wow, they went up. I think they went up like $35 per share today. Love to see that. Love to see the market in correction, right? People said, oh, recession, the market's crashing and all that. The market's not crashing. The market didn't crash even at 10%. That's a correction, guys. And the market is in great condition. And now is the time. People, if you've been listening to different folks on YouTube or different traders telling you what to do, a lot of them have been recommending, hey, now is the time. Buy stocks. They're on sale. Okay. Palantir. Palantir, I think, went to $96 today. Guys, you could have bought Palantir at like low 80s. Okay. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about some of those. I'll even pull some of those up on the charts. But wanted to share with you about the Magnificent Seven. And Morgan Stanley is the one that actually said they believe that this group's outlook is improving. And that is great news for the broader stock market because it really relies very heavily on the tech leadership to propel a bullish market. And it has done so over the last 2 years. So keep that in mind when you're looking at stocks and understanding what's going out there. One of the stocks that I love to day trade, and I shared it in the original intro video, is APLD, Applied Digital. Love that stock. And man, did that stock do me right today. Even some of the guys that I trade with made a ton of money today. Matter of fact, I didn't make as much money as I probably should have because I was so used to the trend, and I'll show you, so used to the trend that I actually, for a moment, doubted the trend line of what was happening to the stock, even seeing that the S&P 500, which generally follows that stock line, um, you know, I just felt like I needed to get out of it at a certain point. I watched the candles. I knew that there was an opportunity for a downturn. I sold. Um, and if you watch the first video, you know that my plan is to at least in each stock that I day trade earn $100 on average. I want to hit $100 mark. I didn't hit $100 on APLD today, and I was really disappointed about it because I left a lot of money on the table. And when I was done with APLD, I got out of APLD and went into another stock. I think I was in SoundHound and made money there. But basically, if I would have just stayed in APLD today, and I'll show it to you guys, I would have made like over $300 on it. And some of the guys that I know really did. They stayed in it. They made some great money. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the charts. All right, guys. So here we are, and we're going to first focus our attention on APLD. Guys, you're going to find that if you watch my videos and stick with me, I'm going to talk about APLD every single day. I love this stock. It's my favorite. It just has amazing performance. And I think you guys really, really, really would enjoy day trading this one if you are a day trader like I am. So let me just kind of show you what happened today, right? So first of all, let me go to the 30-minute. And you see, I had to spend some time recharting today because all the lines are out of whack because of just what happened. All right, but in essence, this is today. And let's see here. There we go. Come on, baby. Okay, so this is today. We had a pretty good, close last night at about $7.08, $7.07, somewhere around there, and it ran horizontal for a good part of closing post market. And then it had this gap up, right? And let me see if I can kind of change this up for you a little bit and change this up. There we go. All right. So we had this little bit of a gap up, right? Which scares me a little bit. I tell people all the time, like, now there is this gap to fill at some point. And this gap started right in the middle of basically pre-market. This is actually closing 8 o'clock, and boom, it jumps up at 5 a.m. Okay, 4:30 in the morning. It jumped up, and it's now at 7:27. You're talking about a 20-cent jump in pre-market, and I was thinking, like, dang, like that's a first for me with APLD of not seeing that jump like that and leaving a gap to fill. But it did not disappoint. It had a steady downturn. Let's go into the 15-minute. Steady downturn right here. And then it launched and it went up. And by the time market opened, it did what it normally does. Market opened right here. Okay. 9:15, 9:30. It was on a down. You see it's red. It closed at $7.30 and then hit that first green candle, which I'm going to go to the 5 and the 1 minute for you guys. First big candle, and it started working its way up. And I'm going to be honest, I sat and watched this stock go up and did nothing about it. I literally was monitoring the candles, and in essence, because the stock has been trading anywhere from $6.95 to about $7.35 or $7.40, I was not thinking that this was going to stick. I was thinking we're going to hit one of our levels of, resistance, and it's going to drop back down. Well, guys, it did not drop back down. And literally, one of my buddies said, "I'm in at 740." And I said, "Okay, if you're going in at 740, I'm jumping in right behind you." I think I got in at about 747. Right about, let's see. Yeah, right about in here. Yep, it opened at 7:45. I got in at 7:47 on this candle, and I wrote it up, and I was watching it, and it got to this point, and I think it was 757, somewhere around there. I sold out. I just made over about $50, and I was like, man, that's kind of disappointing. I only got about $50 out of this, but I'm going to show you, because if you watch the 1 minute, and let me pull this together and let me get it to fit right. On the 1 minute, I'm in here, and let's see about what time it was. That, yeah, right about here. No, I take it back. Right about here is where I was in green candle, 757, closed at 758, was in this candle, saw this red monster, and said, okay, this is where it's going to turn. And this monster kind of stuck for a little bit, and it dropped down, and then it hit a green, and it came back up, and I'm like, okay, I'm not upset, because I was watching this. It hit more, hit red again, and I'm watching these pretty well engulfing candles, and it's dropping down, hit a small green, kept going down. I'm like, okay, no worries. Went away from it, went off to another stock. Okay. when I came back from trading in that stock, I think we were literally halfway through this candle here and it was at 764. And I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me. 764. Okay. Long story short, some guys wrote it because I sell this to the guys that listen to me all the time. Some guys wrote it. They wrote it all the way up, literally, to $7.75. Okay. So remember, we opened at about $7.30. Okay. Around $7.30 is where they opened. And they wrote it up to about $7.75. Good money, guys. Good money. If you bought 750 shares, excuse me, or 1,000 shares, money. Okay. I always say, I don't want to be greedy. I say, guys, stay in one share at a time and don't get greedy. I didn't get greedy. I sold where I thought it was turning and I got out of it and I took my profit. And I was very happy that I made 50 bucks today on this stock, right? Anybody should be happy. Another day of green. I'm actually running, I think, 11 straight days of nothing but green, which is absurd and awesome at the same time in this crazy market. But I took my $50 profit. And then when I sort of calculated at the end of the day, if I stayed in it and wasn't afraid of a lot of this red candles, $395, guys. You feel my pain? I know you guys feel my pain. But anyway, enough about that. Bottom line, okay? Other guys that I know stayed in it even more, and I'm trying to get my sport line out of here. It went all the way to $8. Where is it? Okay. $8.03 somewhere here. No, still here. This is the day because we're on the 1 minute. Here you go. 804, guys. 804. So I don't even want to talk about it. But anyway, I'll tell you what I did do, and I don't really do options. Watch my first video. I don't really do options, but I do options on APLD. I'll do calls. I go and look for volume. I'll do calls and I'll do puts. Knowing that this stock was over $8 today, I bought puts for tomorrow through the week. So this stock runs up and down every day. And again, guys, if you didn't see my prior video, please go ahead and watch it because it's explain a lot more of this with you. But this stock, generally, the pattern runs up and down all day. Okay, you can see this is the day before. Hard open, drops hard, works his way up, make money. Drops down, makes money. Drops down, makes money. Money maker. And it's solid. I've been trading this stock for months, guys, and it just continues to produce. So take a look at APLD. And if you watch the first video, you'll learn a little bit more about the company. Second one I wanted to show you guys today. Second one you guys should really, really, really be looking at is SoundHound. Okay, I'm going to pull it up in here because I don't want to mess up my charts. But SoundHound, guys, SoundHound is another one that's got a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to day trade. Look at the open this morning, guys. All right, again, I'm on the 1 minute. Okay, we go to the 30 minute. Let me get to the end. And let me pull it out. Come on, baby. Here we go. Okay. It's got some up and downs in it. You need to learn the trend. But the last 2 days, nothing but up and then a little bit of a return, of a drop back and retest. And then through the night into the morning, up, and it sort of stayed pretty steady. We go to the 5 minute on that. You'll see huge open, and then it worked its way back down. And I wouldn't touch this stock until you start to see that candlestick. And I'm not here to teach you guys about candlesticks. You guys should know how to read candles. Please learn how to read candles. But once it got to this point and started this drop, and then you see the turn, a full engulfing green. I think actually we had the 3 white soldiers in the pattern, but anyway, ran up. Okay, dropped down, ran up, and then it dropped down, and there wasn't whole lot much more through the day until we got towards the end of the day, and it did another run up towards the end of the day. Guys, you're looking at pretty much $10.12 opening. And if you ran it up to here, it's, it's not as much as what I like to do with APLD, but $10.29. So you're talking about, what is that? 17 cents, 18 cents. If you got into it in the open and you ran it here, you're at $10.15 and ran it all the way up here to $10.41. A little bit different, but guys, still depending on how many shares you're buying. Okay, if you're making 20 cents per share, that could be life changing for you guys, right? Every day, life changing. All right. So SoundHound is another really, really good AI company. Not going anywhere, guys. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. And then the last one I wanted to share with you is Wolf. Wolf is WLF. Where's my Wolf? Come on, Wolf. Where are you? All right. WLF. Okay. TeraWolf Incorporated. Okay. This is one of the bit mining companies, basically. So when Bitcoin does well, this is one of the companies that you should be looking at and paying attention to. I like this one because it's a much lower price threshold. You're only talking about $3, about $3.30 all the way up to about $3.50 something cents. But again, 20 cents. And if you think you could buy 2,000 shares of this stock at $3.30, okay? Before the market opened this morning, it was at an opening of 335, okay? And at the peak, the first peak that ran, you were at 348, okay? So that's 18 cents. All right? You come back down here and you get about here, and again, I'm watching a lot of this activity before I do anything. And again, as you sort of get into some of these candles, and they're much bigger, opportunity. But you see these green candles kicking off and it's turning. And as I was telling you guys in the main video, I watch my MACD. My MACD is a great way to really understand what's happening with your market. But when that MACD crosses your signal line and MACD is higher, it's going up and it just continues. And when you see it start to turn to come back towards signal, get out of it. Well, that's exactly what happened here, guys. So this is an entry point about $3.41. And if you rode this one all the way up to about where you then took some nasty red, you're at $3.50. So again, 341 up here to 350, 351 roughly. Okay, so about a 10 cent up. But again, if you're trading it every day, okay, and the market even closed with it, it was down here at 341, went all the way up to 347. Wolf is just one of those companies is never going to have a lot of really big movement. You're not going to get 20, 30, 40 cents out of it. Like APLD gave us 80 something cents today, which is ridiculous. And I promise you, I will not cry. But at the end of the day, some really good movement. But this one is solid. This one, when you go back and you kind of look at the charts and you look at the history, you see that aside from Blood Monday and all these days, this is what, March 3rd. Yep. A lot of these days the market opens and it does a good run up. Okay. After Bloody Monday, the market open comes down, it runs up. Okay. Again, market opens, runs down, it ran up. Market open, it ran down, it came down, it ran up. Same thing. Next day, market open, ran up a little bit, back down. This would be where I was waiting, and then runs back up. So, guys, this is a stock you want to kind of look at. Here's a day, another bad day we had in the market. This was March 10th. Again, ran down, didn't touch any of these, but next day opened up, did a little bit bouncing around, horizontally, dropped down, nice entry point, come in, back up. Okay, same thing. Drop down, back up. This is a really good stock, guys. One that I recommend. Again, just my opinion, not financial advice. But another one that if you understand candlesticks, you understand the pattern, get in them, and you'll make some money. Okay, and this is nice because you can, I have this sort of disagreement with some of the guys in my group. It's about volume. And if you buy stocks that are higher priced, then the percentage is higher of the money you make. Absolutely. I agree with you. But if I'm buying 1,000 shares at $7 and I make 20 cents per share, then I'm making 20 cents on $1,000. If I buy a $3 stock and I buy 2,000 shares and it goes up 20 cents, well, now I'm making 20 cents on 2,000 shares, double the money. So, anyway, pick and choose your stocks wisely. Guys, we're going to continue to do this just about every single market day. I'm going to pull a video and post what the best day trading stocks are. I will talk about APLD every day because it makes my money. Like I said, after the day was done in APLD, I think I made like $72 in total. We'll put that up on the screen so you can see that real quick. I'm no BS, guys. I'm sharing with you my journey as a day trader, and there's money to be made. The market could be volatile, going in the wrong direction, S&P 500 being all crazy, but there's still money to be made in specific stocks if you know which ones you're looking for. Go watch my original video, guys. It's a 30 something minute video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for me so that you're notified every time we make new videos. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let's get wealthy together. Let's have another day where we get rich together. Peace.